Hi guys. I know I said I'd talk, I'd try to make at least one video a day. Yesterday I didn't post a video just because it was just, there really wasn't much to talk about. Just we're still over there at the casino, working on the roof up there. It was just, there really wasn't much to talk about. I got ate up by mosquitoes last night. If that interests you. About 3 o'clock. I haven't really had too many problems with them here until last night. And then all of a sudden, like around 3 in the morning, man, I started getting chewed up, man. But I broke out the spray. Of course, by the time I had broken out the spray, I was, I was already under attack. But I sprayed myself, and so we didn't really get a good night's sleep last night. But we still went into battle this morning, and we're getting the job done. We're probably only gonna have to, I've already told you in previous videos the deal I have with this gentleman, Mr. Alexander, and I kind of keep forgetting to ask him about permission about can I say the name of his company. But I'll make a point of it tomorrow. I should still, he says he watches my videos. They make him laugh, and I'm sure he's going to give me permission. But I'm gonna make a point of it. I'll etch it into my skin, to remind myself to ask him tomorrow. Can I bring up his small business, and we'll make a small video of it. We'll give him a commercial. I'm sure he'll do it. He and I get along real fine, and he knows exactly what I'm doing. And he hasn't said, "I don't want you putting me on YouTube." He hasn't said anything like that. He knows what I'm doing, and I do believe next week he was telling about how the there's hurricanes rolling in. Hurricanes, there's like 5 of them out there. They're lining up like a ride at Disneyland right now, and they're all aimed at us. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on that. I do believe one's like fixing to plow into Texas, or it already has. And I heard about one hit out there in California, but who cares about that one? One day, that's the least of their problems. One of these days, California's just going to crack off and float out to sea anyway. Probably. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything bad about California right now. We'll bash on them later. I don't know. There just really isn't a whole lot to tell. I don't know. I can make this. This has only been for a couple of minutes here. We can. I could tell you an old carnival story that might make you laugh. How about I tell you about the time I was working this game? Mostly I was in the rides, but I've worked games too, and I've even owned a few games. I owned a barbecue joint too that was pretty darn good, man. I did okay with that. But this is kind of a funny story. This is why I only appeal to men in my videos. I was working this game, and the guy that I was working for, he's probably not in business anymore. Most of them are not. When I got into the carnival business back in 1990, there were like 1,500 shows out there, something like that. Now maybe 200 are left. That's it. And they told me back then it was a dying business, and I didn't believe them. Because in the 90s, man, gosh darn, man, I used to take 2, 3, there was a few years in the 90s, that I took a 3-month vacation and had the money. It was great, well, I kind of remember this today. It was a long time ago when this happened to me, but I don't care if I get Alzheimer's, I'm not going to forget this. But I was running a game for this guy, and it was a crossbow game where you'd shoot a crossbow. It kind of looked like one of those games where you shoot the BB guns, the BB machine guns. It's kind of like that, but you shot at the star with a crossbow. And it was a good game. I made some money with it. And I'm standing there in front of this game, and this really big girl. I mean, she was big, I mean, one of them big girls, I mean, I'm surprised she didn't kick my ass for what I said. Because I'm walking by, and I'm like, hey, why don't play the game, da-da-da. I was barking her in, and hey, come play the game. And she was like, oh, I could never do that. I could never hit that star. And I said to her, I bet you if I stuck a Big Mac up there, you'd hit it. Oh, I tell you what. She wanted to kill me, man, but I don't know. She didn't come right there, but she marched straight to the office, straight to it, man. The show office. And a few minutes later, her and the show owner come walking back up to me, and you could, her face was just red. She was mad, and I was young back then. I was young, man. I was in my mid 20s or so. maybe close to 30. I was young. And the show owner's like, did you say that? Da, da, da. And I'm like, oh, yes, sir, I did. I'm guilty. I'm sorry. And I apologized to her. I'm like, sorry, man. It was just a slip of the tongue. I didn't say anything about all the marijuana I had smoked, before she come walking up to the game, So it was just a slip of the tongue. And I guess she accepted it, whatever. She gave me a really dirty look. And, of course, the boss is, acting like that. And she turned around, she walks away. And after she was out of earshot, whatever, the guy, the owner, he looks at me, he's like, dude, that's the funniest shit I ever heard, man. I said, you're not going to fire me? He's like, hell no, man. I'm going to start paying you 30% now, man. If you can keep that shit up, man, I'll let other people. That was fantastic. That was the greatest thing I ever heard, man. That was the funniest shit I ever heard in years, man. But don't do it again. Come up with something else, man, because that one, you're lucky she didn't kick your ass. Anyway, that happened to me. And we did have a good year that year. I made a lot of money in that game. We gave away, as prizes, we gave away Winnie the Pooh stuff, Eeyores and Winnie the Pooh, and it was a really good game. It was fun. We made money with it. We sure did. That was probably the late 90s. 9/11 hadn't happened yet, and so the economy was still good, and I used to make money back then. I've always made money in the carnival, but but now I'm done with it. The American dollar's gone to shit. It has. And just the cost of living is so horrible. Back in the 90s, a $20 bill had value to it, and you could buy a 12-pack of beer, a hunk of pork roast or beef roast, and a pack of cigarettes, and barbecue sauce. The $20 bill went a long way. Now a $20 bill, you might get the 12-pack. You might get the 12-pack and, maybe one of them blunt cigars or whatever. But if that's where it's going to end, $20 will be gone. Probably even the cost of beer. I don't like beer. I drink other stuff. I like vodka. But, yeah, the economy today is shit. And they told me back in 1990 that it was a dying business, and I've probably told you all this already, but they told me back then that it was a dying business, and I didn't believe them. I didn't really start seeing it until after 9/11. And then after 9/11, every year it just got harder and harder, and the money was just less and less and less, or what the value of the dollar was, just became less and less and less. And then in 2019 when the COVID hit, man, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. And since then, I think I've seen like one carnival set up somewhere. I think it was up there in Boca Raton, and I haven't seen another one. And it wasn't just one thing, that brought the carnival down. It was multiple things. The deflation of the dollar. Back in 1990 when I got into it, there weren't a lot of fun parks and theme parks, and you had You had Six Flags, you had Disneyland, Disney World, Six Flags. That was about it. And now, every state, has their own little theme parks and stuff. And of course, the kids, they don't want to come out of the basement in their Halo. They just don't care about, they don't care about the carnivals anymore. Let alone that a funnel cake costs $8 now. Oh my God. You know what's the most expensive part of a funnel cake? It's not the funnel cake. It's the paper plate that it's sitting on. That's the most expensive part of a funnel cake. It's like cotton candy. You know what's the most expensive part of that? It's not the cotton candy. It's that plastic bag that they give it to you in. But people call the carnival a ripoff. Oh, carnival's such a ripoff. Look, it's entertainment, man. It's entertainment. You come to the carnival to be entertained, And, you don't realize how much money that you have to have going into it. You can't just go into a fair or a festival or a carnival or any kind of outdoor because it's not called the carnival business. It's called the outdoor entertainment business. Anything that's done outdoors, drag races, sports, any, carnivals, fairs, festivals, anything that is done outside, rock and roll, anything that's done outside is the outdoor entertainment business. The indoor entertainment business is Hollywood, movies and such. That's the indoor entertainment business. And we're not called carnies. We're called showmen. Calling me a carny is like calling some photo negative person of me, it's an insult, It's an insult. Well, anyway, that's my video for today. I don't know what to tell you. I told this gentleman that this job we were doing, because he started, I was saying this a few minutes ago, he was kind of showing me all these hurricanes that are coming in. They're like, well, let's hope we get lucky, and they'll, go off in different directions, and we'll get lucky. He goes, well, next week, because I promised him that I would stay through this whole week and finish, try to get this job finished. And he said, we're going to have good weather, Monday through Wednesday, but... Thursday, it's not going to be good for you. It's supposed to rain again, because all these storms coming. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, boss, I told you I'd work with you. I'll work with you. I really like this guy. I love Mr. Alexander. He's one of the best people I've ever worked for. He truly is. And I can give you multiple reasons why, as to why I really like this guy. I told him today. I said, I'll stick with you to the end of this job. I know this is a big job for you, and I'll stick with you to the end, and we'll go from there. I'll work with you. I'll help you. I'll work with you. And I don't know. That's kind of the way the day went. He took us to, he bought us breakfast this morning, which that's one of the reasons I love this guy. Only twice, in my life has a boss ever bought me breakfast. And the last time it happened to me was back, God, I don't even know how many years ago that was. And it was this guy I worked for up in the north in Ohio. I seriously doubt they're still in business. They might be. I don't know. I haven't really, Googled them or anything. The show owner, he was kind of good about that, about, buying the help. He'd buy pizza for everyone. We'd be setting up or tearing down. He'd buy pizza for everybody and whatnot. He was pretty good about that. But he bought us breakfast one morning, and I've never had a breakfast like this before, and I haven't had one since. It was a fair. This was up in Ohio, and what you did is the guy, it was all you could eat pancakes, and the guy had a griddle, and he had this machine that went over the griddle, and he could make 15 pancakes at a time, and he'd quickly flip it. And then what you did is you stood like, 15, 20 feet, away from this guy, and he would fling the pancakes at you, and you had to catch them on your plate, on your plate. That was the deal. It was fun, man. And then they had scrambled eggs and sausage. The line would keep going. And if you dropped the pancake, he'd just throw you another one. You weren't gonna leave out of there without eating pancakes. And that was the last time. That was like 1998, maybe. I don't know. It was way back in the 90s. And that was great. And then now I've met this gentleman, Mr. Alexander, and he's bought me breakfast a couple of times now. He sure has. And today we went to this place. It was really good. It was like these burritos, and then like a week or so ago, it was these homemade hash browns that actually had meat in it. It was really good. And all right. Well, I told you all that I would try to post at least once a day. I apologize. I didn't post yesterday. There was just absolutely nothing to say, and I just watched some YouTube videos, and that was it. It's going to be kind of boring. Other than the work I'm doing, there really isn't going to be too much to talk about. But it's only going to if not in the middle of next week, the following week. I'm gonna try to, tell him, hey, we need to finish this job so I can get going, and I'm gonna do my best to help you finish it. And besides, the sooner we finish it, the sooner we get paid. So let's try to get it done. And it's kind of a fun job. It is. I'm not uncommon with it. What we're doing. It's been a long time since I've done this kind of work. I mean, it's been since the 80s. Since I've done this kind of thing, construction. I can hear the police behind me back there. I'm better them than me. All right, guys. I don't know what else to say, man. We're still out here in this beautiful preserve. All the pine trees are singing in the breeze. There are some big army ants here. I got to be kind of careful. And, it's going all right, man. We're doing all right. And, it's better me do this, I think, for now anyway. It's better for me to do this than, go out to the highway with the Rolex or not Rolex, but the roll of paper towels and bottle of Windex. And, at least this way I'm, getting some steady money, and we'll stockpile it. There's, we're not going to go into the north. It's too late. We started too late, so we're just not going to do it. And unfortunately, we are kind of far from Melbourne up there, from my friends up there in Melbourne. But I don't know. We'll cross that road. I am kind of talking you out of boredom right now. I am, but. Oh, here's something. I know I talked about this in previous videos about that poor little old lady that got run over by that car, and that little boy. They did tell me that they're gonna put that trial off until December, and but I told them that I would go and testify, what I saw, and because that person, I'm not going to say her name, I'm sure she's got to live with that, what she did for the rest of her life. I don't know that I could live with that, what she did, man. But I'm definitely going to testify, and maybe I can throw a few good words in. It's like, she, maybe prison's not the right thing. I don't know. I mean, I know we have these laws and everything that we live by, but I don't want to see her go to prison for the rest of her life. She was not that old. She was a young person who just made some really bad decisions, especially them drugs, man. She was on that heroin shit, and I've already told you how I know how that shit got in this country, fucking England, Telling you, man, we need to throw England out of here, man. We do, man. They're that's where that trick comes from. It does. It's an old trick of theirs. And I don't appreciate it, man, doing that to my young people. Yeah, you know what's going down. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't post up last night, but there really isn't a whole lot to say. We got there early this morning, but they didn't have that building lit up like I want to. Maybe tomorrow morning, they'll have it all lit up there. Because there's, it's not just white, man. It does this like really cool light show. But when we got there this morning, they weren't doing it. So maybe tomorrow, if they do it, I'll get it on video. I know I keep saying I'm gonna hang up, but I didn't talk to you yesterday, so I guess I'm trying to make up for it today. I don't know. Plus, I'm bored. We ate good today. We made some money. We've been watching YouTube videos for a little while. I like those short videos, the shorts. I like watching those. Some of them are funny. Very entertaining. But I gave you all my phone number and the other day. I'm not sure if anybody's called me yet. I have gotten a couple calls that I missed, but when I went back to my voicemail, there was nothing there. So I'll throw the number out there every once in a while. I'll throw it out right now because I got it written down right here. So everybody wants on. It's 727-364-6313. If you get bored, you want some information about what I'm doing, give me a call. I'll bullshit with you if I can. If I don't answer, it means I'm either working on something or I'm asleep or something, out on the road and I just don't hear the phone. All right, I'm not going to drag this out anymore. Listen, guys, I will try. I know you've heard me say this 100 times now, but if I can, I will try to make at least one video a day. And I appreciate y'all viewing me and supporting me and giving me those nice comments. I've gotten some really nice comments, and so I appreciate that. I truly do, because otherwise, I'm just spinning my wheels here, and this is, pointless, really. But, the numbers keep going up, and so as long as that keeps happening, then I'm going to keep doing it. And that's all there is to it. So if nothing else exciting happens tonight, which I doubt it will, I've already sprayed myself with mosquito spray, so hopefully I won't go through that torture again tonight. I'm really not going to do nothing. I'm just going to, watch some free YouTube movies and, we'll just chill out, and then we're going to get up early in the morning and go back at it again and try to finish this job so everybody can make some money, so everybody can keep moving. All right. Later, guys. Stay out of trouble. Tell your families I said hi.